Okay, hey guys, and welcome to Life Junkie. This is completely new to us, especially new to me because I don't really listen to podcasts a lot. I mean, I do and don't at the same time, but I listen to the video. Like, it's the podcast, but I watch the video version because that's what a lot of people do. Like, they put the video version and then they have the other stuff in Spotify, which I want to do. I have to figure out how to put it on Spotify first, but we'll figure that out later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a problem for another time.
Yeah, so I'm Caesar, and this is...
Oh, I'm Victoria.
Yeah, and the main reason I wanted to do this is because I have a lot of stuff and stories and a lot of experience, and I've been helping people ever since I was younger, and now I just want to do it in a different platform and just doing things. And today we're going to be talking about new beginnings. You want to start it off, or no? You want me to start it? Well, I think the first thing that I talked about, and the first thing that the first thing that came to mind was that you have to start it. That's like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is you have to start the thing that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just like this, like today we might have rescheduled, and I was like,
nah.
It would have been easier, but I don't want to because
You just want to get it
I
done.
want it to start. It won't ever start unless I start.
Yeah. I figured that was right. I was like, oh, I feel bad.
It's just I know if I don't, something may happen later down the line,
Yeah.
so I need to do it now.
Okay.
And so I did it now.
And now we're here.
And now we're here.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Tell me about something that you started off. Something in your life that you were not sure about, but you wanted, like, let's say if it's theater or something like that, something that was completely new, but you didn't know how to approach it at first.
Does it have to be something completely new? Like,
no.
Maybe something that I got into again?
Yeah. No, that's
okay.
totally fine.
So I believe I was in middle school. It might have been like 6th or 7th grade. That was when I did my first show.
Mm-hmm.
It was The Sound of Music, and we did it at CESAR'S College, but it was with Met 2, which is in West Covina.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in that. I was in the ensemble, and I really loved it. Like, that was probably the favorite thing that I did when I was little. Super fun, and I wish I could have done more. But I stopped after that show because it just became a hassle with the other activities me and my siblings were involved in. But once I got to high school, I think it was my freshman year, the summer right after my freshman year, we started doing shows again. And it was just me and my sister, but it was so fun. It was so fun. And I just, like, really fell in love with it all over again, and it just became, like, such an important, like, release for me, like, to express myself. That was when I started performing again, but I had actually auditioned my first semester. Is it semesters in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my first semester in high school, as a freshman, I had auditioned for the play, and I did not make that.
What play did you guys do?
For Toby. Toby
Show. Oh, it was Toby Show?
Yeah, and Byler was like...
Oh, that's right. Byler was...
She always says
their
this.
freshman
She's
year.
Every time it comes up, she's like, how did you not get cast?
Get
I'm like,
casted.
come on, Byler, whatever. My monologue was absolutely terrible.
Was it?
It was gross.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but...
Byler really... I remember doing chorus line, and Byler really liked my monologue.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like... I did not like my monologue.
I loved my monologue for a chorus line.
Did you?
She loved it too.
Because
That
was like the first time I did a monologue, like in a book, like the book of monologues that she had. Like, that was the first time I ever did that, and it was very weird and different. And just because that was my first year going into it,
was that the first monologue you ever did, or
No,
monologue
no.
from the books?
Monologue from the books.
Like when it was created.
Okay. I got monologues off of the internet and stuff like that.
But like from plays?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so,
that makes more sense.
Yeah, so I was like, that was so much easier.
I wish I was instructed to do a monologue from an actual play, like not just things that people come up with.
Well, they had books, but then I was like, nah,
It's
books.
it's too much work.
Watch this. Watch me use this.
Yeah.
and then my dreams were shattered
Oh dear.
for Romeo and Juliet.
Oh dear.
Oh, I made it, but
Oh.
did I tell you about that story?
No.
No? Okay.
You didn't.
So, the reason why I didn't do theater in high school, except senior year, was because it's not middle school, but not elementary. It's like a fine line between it. That's how that school was. And I did Romeo and Juliet, and I got casted as Romeo, and I was like really excited to do it, and just because I was a kid. But either way, this is the first thing I was like going to be able to do, and when I did it, and this is only for school, so only school students saw the school went to, because they had like a little theater there, so they went to go see it, and it was two kids that told me, "You did awful. You sucked at it." And it was awful, and that's what I told Byler. Like, it was hard for me to even try doing that again, just because everyone else told me that I was really good at it, but those two people stood up for some reason.
Yeah.
And I just never did it again, and then until Chorus Line, and I got back into it, and so.
Well, we're glad you did.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too. I mean, that's where I met Kathy. And
exactly.
Everything took off for me.
It opens a lot of doors.
For sure, and I would have never met Byler, and never met Colleen, and I wouldn't have the job that I have now. So that's perfect.
Hey.
Exactly.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah. So continue on with your story. I think I cut you off a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had started doing shows again. I was super in love with it. And then I think I came for my sophomore year. I was still doing musical theater with the community theater company, and I got cast in the show Shakespeare Goes to Gravel Gulch at South Hills. I think it was...
Was that the one that was like really crazy and protesting type of thing?
No, that was Laramie Project.
That's the Laramie, okay.
Yeah, no, that's based on a true story. Gravel Gulch is whack.
It's whack?
Whack. It's just not disgusting. It's just, it's a melodrama, completely created, not based off of anything cool. So after that year, we did Shakespeare Goes to Gravel Gulch, and we did Icebergs, and I was still doing yearbook, which I loved yearbook. I loved it so much. I thought I was going to be editor my senior year, which I probably would have been. But it became like too much of a hassle for me to have to go to games after school and to keep up with deadlines and still go to rehearsals for a long time after school. So I ended up dropping yearbook. And that was like really rough because that was kind of the only thing that I knew when I came to high school. That was the only thing that I was connected to. I wasn't doing any other extracurriculars with people from my school. And so it was a weird transition, but ultimately that led me to where I am right now. I'm majoring in acting, and it's my favorite thing. I'm so happy I'm doing this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Earlier this week I was gonna join the magazine, like the Citrus College magazine class.
Yeah. And what is that exactly?
Like they do graphic design, photography. They make the magazines.
Okay.
For the campus, and
awesome.
I was excited about that, but then I just decided, no, I gotta just stick with theater, which is sad, but ultimately I see myself having a future in theater, so I wouldn't really go a different route right now, especially where I am in my education. I need to just get all the theater stuff done, and then maybe I'll come back later and do more.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about too. It's just but before we go into we'll skip ahead. I'll go back to what I was gonna say from these things. It's it's the third thing.
Oh.
But why not? The thing that I was always asked, and this will connect to what you just said too. Why are you doing this, and this? Why are you doing acting and dancing and music and gaming and all this other stuff, and now you're starting a podcast? Why are you doing all that stuff? And it's because why can't I?
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing about YouTube and Instagram and Snapchat, whatever, all these different platforms, the reason I'm doing it is, one, that I can, and two, because I'm passionate about doing all this stuff, you know what I mean? I I can't see myself being a one type of thing. Like I can't be.
You can't be held down.
Yeah, exactly. I can't be that one subject thing.
You have all these things that like make you happy and make you enjoy life, and you can't really pick one.
Exactly.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, exactly. Like and a lot of the stuff that I do tie in to each other. You know what I mean? Like music always ties into dance, and dance to theater, and to it all connects in a way. And there's times where I have to use every single one of them, and but I am good at what I do.
Yeah.
I am, and I've been told, and there's a reason why I've gotten paid to do things that I do, because I'm good at it, and every time that I had a job, or I had a show to do, or everything like that, one person comes up to me and tells me that we just see the passion that you have for it, and that's why I can't work behind a desk. Like that was like one of the biggest things.
I hate that.
Ew. I wouldn't be able to do that. One, because I just can't sit down and do that. It just wouldn't work.
I would get impatient. Like I get impatient sitting in classrooms for too long doing nothing. I either fall asleep or I get really fidgety and I can't handle it.
So going back to the platform thing, the reason I think a big thing that I noticed is that a lot of the creators now, especially new creators, are very one-dimensional. You know what I mean by that? Like they want to stick to the one thing, even though all this social media connects in a way.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the YouTube stuff goes into Instagram, and a lot of that, and you see like example King Batch, because he's taking on a bunch of stuff. Like he's a Viner. He started off with Vines.
I don't know who that is. I'm just gonna listen.
You don't know who that is? No?
Do you have an example of a Vine reference that I know?
What that backflip though? Have you seen that guy?
No.
He's done the. He goes like. That guy's stealing my purse, and then he like runs up to the wall and he does a backflip off the wall, and he goes that backflip.
Yeah.
He got away, but that backflip though, like that thing.
Yeah.
That guy he started off in Vine. When Vine died, he got some show stuff. He had some parts in the show. He got the Postmates. If you ever see him on the ads for Postmates, he has a huge spot there.
Oh.
Like it's I think he was the first person that I saw when Postmates started making ads about it. He was the first person talking about it, and he got that deal, and he's gotten a lot of deals, but the huge thing that I liked about him is that he spread out. Like he did so much different stuff, and I think the thing that I was trying to say is like his Instagram and Vines are on YouTube. Like they make their way to there, you know what I mean? So why not spread out more? Like you make this content and put it out and distribute it to so many different things. And that's kind of what I want to do here. Like this podcast, as much as I don't only want it to be in one specific spot. Like I want to use the clips and everything like that. Like if I don't want this to be so structured either. You know what I mean? Like right now we're just having this conversation, and then all of a sudden it just comes back to what we're supposed to talk about. You know what I mean? But this is the whole point of the life junkie thing. Like you know what I mean? Yeah.
Jump lady.
And I want. You don't have to be in one platform. I don't want to be in one platform, and that's why I'm doing all these other things. Is because I don't want it. One, I don't want it all to be smushed into one platform. You know what I mean? Like I don't want.
I understand. That's why I have my Instagram influencers.
Exactly.
Or I'm an influencer on Instagram, and then I also vlog. I'm a good vlogger.
Yeah, exactly. Go check it out. The link will be in the description down below.
Oh, we're exposing me now. Okay.
Why'd you say it?
Joke. God no. Okay. Anyway.
I was talking to Celeste.
You made a YouTube video, right?
I edited her YouTube video. Put that down below too. well, I FaceTimed her, and I was just like, look, this is what I've done. And it took a while because I've been editing for other YouTubers that are doing gaming stuff, and I'm just using that as a side job right now until I start work next week. And like, I was showing her all these things, and hey, do you like it? Because she's like in love with Markiplier. So I was like, he has like a lot of zooms, and her comedy is somewhat like her comedy.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I tried to try to do that, but with her, and make it kind of unique to her as well. And I was telling her, like, don't be shy to do this because you love to do it, one. And like, she was telling me, yeah, I love it. And she had 1,000, she had like 1,000 something on her TikTok, and she was like extremely happy about that when she first texted me about it. She was like, this is happening, it's starting to happen, I'm blowing up. And I'm like, yes, I'm glad you have that, like, honestly. And I was telling her,
listening, I love you.
and what I was telling her is that don't be scared of what other people think about you when it comes to it. And the reason, and the same goes to me when I'm making this, and I was very scared to start this in general, just because I was scared of what people would think or what people would say about it. But I really don't care about what people think about me.
Yeah.
And what I say is my life story, and whoever is talking to me, and Victoria is probably gonna be the person that I do this with the most. If not, it's gonna be her and someone else. So continuing on like, I'm just really excited to do this and to be into this, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's just gonna be really exciting to tell my life story in a completely different way now. And I was telling you about Gary Vee, and if you don't know who Gary Vee is, he's this influencer and Instagram. He does a bunch of other stuff, like, right? He's an entrepreneur, and he started off with wine, and now he's motivating to talk, and he does so much other stuff. It's crazy, and I really take inspiration from that. And the biggest thing about starting something that you love to do, being passionate about something that you love to do, is your mental state. Mm-hmm. Like, you are your biggest critic. Like, no matter what anybody else thinks, and I have to honestly keep on pushing myself to not care about what other people think, because sometimes I do, but that's just who we are at times, you know what I mean? And that's just how judgment has always been in our lives, and just especially in our generation, it's a huge thing. But he talks about being happy and his happiness, and that's something that I look forward to, because I always have to look in the future, because I can't be stuck in going with the flow. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, and so while doing this podcast and doing everything else like that, I have to be positive and pushing myself constantly. Because if not, then it's never gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. And
I would love to be happy, and that's one of the hardest things to do for especially our age. There's people dealing with depression all over the world. People have some sort of anxiety and stuff like that. It sucks that, especially in our age now, there's a lot of us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's so much,
and it's a lot about the idea of having to please everybody around you, especially like with online, like the influence of likers and subscribers. Like, that whole thing that's what creates this whole, like, social anxiety that we all have.
Yeah, I really don't want to. It's cool to see that people are viewing me and stuff like that, which I want. That's exactly what I want, but not to depend on, I got this much likes, this video, and I didn't get this much likes.
And
but, like,
feedback is appreciated,
exactly.
But, like, it does not need to be something that changes your mental state.
Exactly.
It does not need to influence how happy you are. Or how accepting you are of yourself.
the people that I watch on YouTube or the actors that I watch, they always have the passion, one, and looking at how they started to who they are now is big for me, and just seeing the content creators everywhere, when they're not focusing about that and they're just doing that because they love to do it, it's what brings people in the most. And that's kind of what I want to do in a way. Like, I want to bring people in because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, not because I have this stuff and I have that stuff, and because I don't. I barely have anything. I don't have the setup that I would want for this podcast, but it's like, I'm still extremely happy about doing this and extremely passionate about doing this, you know what I mean? And another thing that I wanted to keep on going is that the little things matter in this, you know what I mean? Like, and if you're starting something new, the little things matter. Not so much that I'm not here yet, but I want to be, or that this didn't happen. Like, I didn't get this many likes. Honestly, just try to avoid that, because you're just gonna go in a deeper hole and then focusing on that, and that's just gonna take so much more energy out of you that you should be using on this. You know what I mean? On creating the content, exactly. And just like I remember when I first started helping out people, and I didn't really think of getting a thank you or anything like that. I help people because I want to help people, you know what I mean? And I help people because I didn't have someone helping me. And I don't know if I said this or not, but if I don't do it, who will? That's something that I always live by. Always. And I'm always going to. That's what gets me up in the morning. You know, because and you'll see it throughout this podcast when I'm telling my stories and how I got to where I am now. That really impacted my life forever. What was I saying before? I got off track. The little things matter. What was I saying before?
I know, I got distracted because my mom came home.
Oh yeah, I was talking about helping people. I didn't expect a thank you or anything like that. But when people came up to me and said, you know, I was in like one of my darkest times and I didn't have anybody, and just you being there meant everything at that time. That's when I started to notice, like, I'm making an impact, and I didn't even mean to. How much more can I do? And I know, like, I can't do everything, and I won't be able to do anything. But having the mentality of, I'm going to try, is everything.
It puts you a few steps ahead of the game. You know?
Exactly.
Like, thinking that you have the ability to do it and trying to do it, it puts you ahead of the people who, like, aren't even putting themselves out there to try to do something that makes them happy or to help other people.
Exactly.
Which is not a requirement, but it's a good thing.
I think one of the biggest things that's hard for me, and I learned this early on when I started helping people, is that it's hard for me to say no. That was like one of the hugest things, like, because I would see someone hurting, and I couldn't just be like, no, I'll get back to it. Like, because now I take the time and be like, there's a certain time for all of this. There's a certain thing for all of this. When I'm helping people, I want to make sure they're at the right state to help, and I can't help them if they don't want to be helped. You know what I mean? That's just like the gist of it. You can't help anybody unless they want to be helped. And it's crazy to see who I was and who I am now, and I really like who I am now.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that some way I can help, if that's with me and Victoria making you laugh or whatever it is.
Whatever we're doing. Whatever we're doing.
Yeah. This helps in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It inspires or does something. I just like something that I'm hoping for, you know what I mean?
I just want to inspire people.
Yeah, I always do.
Yeah. No, it's just for expression of views and stuff like that, but also helping people feel better about things. And I don't know, I feel like podcasts aren't only limited to talking about, murder mysteries or about like having a good
exactly,
day.
yeah.
It's like it could be used for things like this. And I don't know, I haven't listened to many podcasts. I don't know who else is out there like doing stuff like this.
Yeah, I know a few, but I don't think they attend, like they mean to do it. It just happens,
it just
you know
happens.
what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't attend, I don't want to come here and just give advice. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to tell my story into it and how I got to it, and that to be the advice, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, this is what helped me, maybe it could help you in a way, type of thing. Mm-hmm. This is one of the biggest things. And why we skipped it is because we went to the platform things, and why you don't have to limit yourself to one thing, you know what I mean? Whatever you're doing and whatever you're passionate about, Michael Jackson actually said this. He said, you have to believe in yourself is the biggest thing. If you get big, if you don't get big, you have to believe in yourself. He like kept on saying you, like that was like the biggest thing. And Michael Jackson is one of my biggest inspiration, especially when it came to dancing. That's the first thing that I learned is Michael Jackson stuff. And he says that study the greats and be greater. Mm-hmm. And I really took note of that. Like, and it depends on who you think are the greats. Like Michael Jackson was one of my greats. Right now, I'm thinking Gary Vee's one of my greats just because of who he is, and studying how they are, who they are, and being greater than that is. It's not saying like you gotta be better than them. It's saying like take that and apply it into your life and be better. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's exactly what I want to do. Like I don't want to be them. I want to. How do I say this? I want to kind of do the same, but be me in the same way.
Yes. That use them as inspiration mm-hmm. for your own art.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. When he said be greater, I think he meant be a better you in a way, kind of.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I want to do, because I don't know, it's just really, life is hard, especially in my background. Just I know that if I had this, it would have been easier. So I'm extremely excited to what else this is going to be, and about new beginnings, just to wrap it up and kind of go back to what we're talking about is one, you have to start it.
Yes.
You have to take the step to doing it and put your content, no matter what content, put content out there. No one is going to watch you if there's no content to watch, you know what I mean? Exactly that. And you have to believe in yourself and study the greats to be greater. That was another thing that I put. And put yourself in all platforms, because it reaches so much other people, one, and two, just be passionate about what you want to do when it comes to that platform, you know what I mean?
And it's not specifically like social media platforms.
Exactly.
It's like put yourself on a stage if you want to, like seeing at an open mic night if that's what you want to do to get yourself seen, post flyers, advertising for a club you want to start, just do anything to get your voice heard and to make you seen.
Exactly. Mm. And your mentality, come into this your mentality in a positive mentality, put yourself out there and be strong when you come into it. You know what I mean? And that the little things matter and a lot of that stuff. And don't worry about the likes. Just do what you love to do and be passionate about it.
Yes.
Anything you want to say about it?
Live and let live, people.
Exactly.
That's all.
Alright, thank you guys. This is the first time we've done this, and this is not going to be the last.
I know.
I'm really excited for this, and I'm really scared and nervous, but this is going to be awesome, and I already think this is awesome.
And next time, I'll have notes.
Yes. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you. Bye.